Breaking on 4 News now at 6. New details on a shooting that left one person hurt along the route of the Armed Forces Torchlight Parade. What investigators say led up to the shooting.
I'm tracking showers and isolated thunderstorms right now. I'll show you where they're headed, plus when you can expect even wetter weather in your first alert forecast.
And the 100 deadliest days for teen drivers starts on Memorial Day. What you can do now to lower your child's risk of getting into a crash. Tonight at 6:30. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
And we begin with breaking news. The Washington Department of Transportation says it's found that missing plane and pilot near Snoqualmie Pass. Thanks for joining us. I'm Derek Dice.
I'm Kirsten O'Connor. The DOT saying they found the crash site. The 69-year-old pilot was also found dead. Jerry Reidinger took off from Arlington Municipal Airport at 4:30 p.m. yesterday, but his plane never arrived as planned in Ephrata. The Department of Transportation says the last known cell phone analytics were recovered near Humpback Mountain, west of Snoqualmie Pass. The crash site was found in a heavily forested area of the mountain.
Also breaking tonight, new details in an argument that left one person shot and another hurt in Spokane Saturday night. New court documents reveal a downtown Spokane convenience store employee shot at a customer during a physical fight with the owner and employees.
Police are still getting more information about what led to the fight in the first place. Bronte Sorotsky is live downtown tonight with the new details.
Well, one downtown business owner tells me that she is shocked and scared to see that something like this could have happened here downtown. And all of this happening while a parade was happening as well.
I just was shocked to see the news.
A downtown business owner shocked to see that a shooting had taken place at the same time as a major Spokane event. New court documents show what led to one person getting shot and another injured. They show that two people had gone into PM Jacoy's looking for ice cream. The store owner had noticed they were staying too long and went to kick them out. The owner claims the woman then threw her ice cream onto the floor and things escalated into violence. The defendant, Charles Michael, who was at the store with that woman, is accused of pulling out a large knife on the owner. That was when the owner's son and another employee came to help with a pipe and a handgun. The employee holding the gun claims it went off accidentally while trying to break up a fight between the two in the store, the owner, and employees, grazing the woman's head. Michael and that woman were taken to the hospital for their injuries while Michael was arrested for assault. While the owner of Soulful Soup says she's never had an incident like this happen to her, she and her employees are prepared for similar situations.
We have lots of pepper spray is our thing, and I make sure my staff knows that take it out and use it if you feel like you need to use it.
And we don't yet know if the store's owner or the woman that was shot will face any charges. Charles Michael will be in court at the end of this month. His bail is currently set for $75,000. Live in Spokane, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
Bronte, thank you. Well, rain is pouring in some areas tonight.
Yeah, with some areas also being hit with thunderstorms. We're going to send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker to see where those storms are heading.
Well, we'll start off with the view from the station where it is dry looking west, but a very different story as you move a little bit to the east. First of all, we have wet roads in Meade from the storm that moved through here in the last half hour. Some standing water there on the roads. This is 395 and Farwell, and it has been pouring rain at I-90 and Argonne. Again, some standing water on the roads there. Now that system is moving further to the south and east. We'll zoom in on Doppler radar right now, and let's see, there is Argonne right there where things are beginning to dry out. Here's Pines, where we've got some good rain from I-90 down through Broadway and Sprague. Sullivan actually is right here. I take it back. Here's Sullivan, and this is starting to sink south of I-90 slowly, but it was a bit of a white knuckle commute there for a while. As we zoom out a little bit, you'll notice this is a fairly isolated area where we're seeing these heavier showers moving to the south and east. Will be impacting Liberty Lake here before long if you haven't already started to see those sprinkles. Zooming out a little bit further, we did have some thunderstorm activity activity north of Laclede around the Sandpoint area. That is moving to the south now. Also some showers hit and miss down on the Palouse. All of this tapering off as we get into the evening and will be dry overnight. Gusty winds around the shower activity, 23-mile-per-hour gusts in Pullman. We have a 30-mile-per-hour gust at Felts Field in Spokane Valley. Otherwise, winds will be dying down later this evening. And here are 4 things to know about your weather. We're dry to start the day on Tuesday. Then the showers will start developing in the late afternoon, taking us into a rainy evening and overnight, and a soggy Wednesday with more thunderstorms. Needed rain, beneficial rain in the 7-day forecast. I'll let you know how long it's going to last in just a few minutes. Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. Well, the Central Valley School District is hosting a forum for candidates running to be Washington's next superintendent. The forum will include 4 of the candidates tonight at Ridgeline High School in Liberty Lake. It starts at 6:30. The public is invited and the candidates will take questions, including from local students. It is a big week for Idaho voters. There are 2 major events that should be on your radar.
The first is primary election day happening tomorrow. Races for U.S. representative will be on the ballot, along with Idaho State Senate and state representative seats. Also on the ballot locally are Kootenai County Commissioner for Districts 1 and 2 and the Kootenai County Sheriff. Then later in the week, registered Democrats and unaffiliated voters are invited to the Kootenai County Fairgrounds. The Democratic Presidential Caucus is happening Thursday from 5 to 8 p.m. Voters will decide who Idaho will support for the Democratic nominee for President of the United States.
Let's take a live look inside of City Hall, where the Spokane City Council is soon going to be voting on an amendment that would hit the pause button on all new development projects in the Latah Valley neighborhood. People living in that area say they want a building moratorium put in place until their fire safety concerns are met. Latah Valley is in southwest Spokane, which is considered to be a critical fire area. And last August, there was a fire that forced families to evacuate. One woman telling 4 News Now at the time she had very few options for an escape route due to several roads being closed. If approved, the moratorium would last for at least 1 year. We have a crew keeping a close eye on the meeting, and we'll have the very latest tonight on Nightside at 11 o'clock.
Well, major changes are coming to a section of Sprague Avenue in Spokane Valley. Later this summer, crews will begin reducing the number of lanes on Sprague between University Road and Harold Road from 5 lanes to just 3. This construction project has 2 main goals, including protecting the area's drinking water. According to the city, stormwater runoff is getting into the area's water supply without being treated. During construction, crews will expand water treatment into the north and south lanes to try to prevent this from happening. The second goal is to try to make the area more pedestrian friendly. On your screen now is a rendering of what this section of Sprague would look like when the project is complete. The city wants to add a mid-block crosswalk with its own dedicated traffic signal. It also wants to improve the bike lane and add a high-performance transit bus stop. City officials tell us they expect construction to start sometime next month.
Well, more than 187,000 Honda Ridgeline trucks are being recalled due to an issue with the rear view camera. Officials say in certain cold wintry weather conditions, electric wiring tied to that camera might fatigue or break, and that could prevent the driver from getting a proper rear view image, which could pose a potential crash risk. The recall is in effect for Honda Ridgeline pickup trucks. You can look for those model years on our website, KXLY.com.
The Moses Lake School District wants your input on how to deal with its $20 million budget crisis. Most of that budget shortfall is due to an accounting error. On the chopping block are over 100 positions across the district, as well as extracurricular activities and career and college readiness programs. This survey ends tomorrow at noon. You can give your feedback through the link inside this story on KXLY.com.
A 14-year-old told he would die behind bars. He was one of the youngest people in Washington state to be given a life sentence. 27 years later, he walked across the stage to accept his degree from Gonzaga Law School. As a child, Jeremiah Bourgeois shot and killed someone. He thought he would spend the rest of his life behind bars.
It's more likely that I was shot during a riot on a prison yard and then I'm in a coma on the medical floor, imagining all of it, then I'm actually standing in there hearing drums and bagpipes wearing purple on a cloak. It's the juxtaposition, just it's surreal.
Hear how he turned a life sentence into a law degree in my special report tomorrow on 4 News Now at 6 o'clock. Well, Israeli and Hamas leaders could soon be charged with war crimes.
We break down the alleged crimes both sides have committed.
And one local baseball field is in the middle of getting a much-needed upgrade. We'll check in with Mark Peterson and the rest of the Extreme team on their progress next. Those stories and more coming up when we come back after the break.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+.
Shop us and you will see no one saves you more green than the Green Team at Jennifer's Auto Sales and Service.
Living in the Inland Northwest has its advantages, and one of those is working with amazing people who dedicate their time and efforts to help others. STCU's Volunteers Count is a program to say thank you for this service and inspire others to give back too. Please tell us about a volunteer at a local nonprofit that inspires you. Go to KXLY.com/volunteerscount and nominate them. Help us showcase those people who give of their time and truly make a difference. Volunteers Count, brought to you by 4 News Now and STCU.
For over 90 years, the McVeigh Brothers family has been installing the very best in roofing, siding, and windows made for the Inland Northwest. Last year, our 6000 Series Coeur d'Alene windows earned the 2024 Energy Star Most Efficient Award, beating some manufacturers by 20%. So this week, we're celebrating by matching your energy rebate up to $10 per square foot with every window sold. At McVeigh Brothers, we're always working for you.
Visit AutoNation Acura Spokane Valley for attractive offers on a new vehicle.
Western Skies Construction, a local owned and operated company with 3 generations of experience. We're licensed, bonded, and insured, and we offer free estimates. Our team is committed to improving the life of your asphalt parking lots, roads, and driveways. Call us today at 509-315-7974. That's 509-315-7974.
Everyone's itching to win Northern Quest's Scratch and Win GMC Sierra giveaway. With $520,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs, it's only natural. But instead of a log, tree, or communal bush, all you need is your Camas Rewards card. Play daily to earn scratch tickets good for reward play, bonus points, hotel stays, and maybe a brand new GMC Sierra pickup. That's an itch we'd all like to scratch.
Welcome back. It is day one of our annual Diamonds and Dreams project. Every May, the 4 News Now Extreme team and hometown Chevy dealers team up to make dreams come true by renovating a baseball diamond.
And this year, we're upgrading the Nevada Playfield at Nevada Park. It's right next to Gary Middle School in North Spokane near Nevada and East Central Avenue. Let's send it over to Mark Peterson to see what still needs to be done ahead of Thursday's big reveal.
So today we found out that not everything can be done with a loader or a skid steer. Sometimes it's just elbow grease and a lot of people with shovels. We're trying to get ready for a 4. Again, the Diamonds and Dreams, not only the baseball fields, but the areas around them get reworked. So Horizon Credit Union and their volunteers are digging out this to 4 to 5 inches deep, and Specialty Mix Concrete will show up tomorrow with Dundee Concrete placing the forms to get this all poured into concrete so that it makes it a better, more enjoyable experience, not only for the fans watching baseball, but it will minimize the amount of work Spokane Parks and Rec have to do to keep everything trimmed up. So it's a win-win-win. Also, we're going to continue to spread out the All-Star Baseball mix. We've got to get it done before the rain comes, and that is our goal. In Gary Middle School at Gary number 1 and, of course, Gary number 2 with Diamonds and Dreams, I'm Mark Peterson, 4 News Now, the Extreme team.
Oh, and they are going to have to work extremely fast to beat the rain. Here's what we've got going on at I-90 in Argonne. Still very wet roads right now along I-90 through Spokane Valley and into Liberty Lake, but we will be drying out later this evening. Partly cloudy skies overnight, 51 degrees by 11. We'll be cooling down into the 30s, and the next round of rain is moving in. I'll let you know what to expect after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mainstream Electric Heating, Cooling, Plumbing.
Hey.
If it feels like everything you say to your teenager goes in one ear and out the other, you're not alone. But even when it seems like they aren't listening, they are, especially when it comes to a topic like drugs. Find time in everyday moments to share facts, teach refusal skills, and answer their questions about drugs, including opioids like fentanyl, because your words matter. Get the conversation started today.
This year, beat the summer rush and get your decking early at Spring Savings from the decking pros at Windsor Plywood.
It's time to shop, shop for wood.
Get it done now so you can enjoy it when the sun comes out. From Windsor.
My name is Connie, and I have stage 3 breast cancer. I'm an RN, and I've been working for several years in the profession, so I decided that I wanted to seek out a second opinion. I think getting a second opinion is vitally important. I went to Summit Cancer. Everybody in the facility treats me like I am the only one they're looking after. I would highly recommend Summit Cancer Centers.
What can we make for you today from the Sweet Palace in Phillipsburg, Montana?
Frizz, dryness, breakage. New Dove 10-in-1 Serum Hair Mask with Peptide Complex fortifies hair bonds at a molecular level. Helps reverse 10 signs of damage in 1 minute. Keep living. We'll keep repairing.
What if you could go from this to this with just one step? TRESemmé Silk Serum. Time for the ultimate humidity test. Weightlessly smooth hair. Your turn. New TRESemmé Keratin Smooth Collection.
Well, this is interesting. A robot is threading a corn kernel. It was a demonstration on how this bot can be used during microsurgeries, and it works by replicating the movements of the surgeon's hands and fingers. The delicate instrument can work in conjunction with a microscope to repair small tissues, veins, and even nerves.
The robots are clearly taking over. But that is impressive.
This is it, you guys. We can't do that.
I feel like that might be a good thing in that case, as long as there's a doctor right there watching in case he gets the wrong idea.
All right, we got a little bit going on here, weather-wise.
Yes, we do. So, and I am loving the rain, by the way. I've heard a lot of people say that too. Boy, you might as well just bring those outdoor cushions inside for a while, because we are going to have some rain. And right now, the heaviest rain has moved south of I-90. There's still some standing water on I-90 between Sullivan and Barker roads and extends south. In fact, as we zoom out a little bit, you can see all the way down around Rockford, we're seeing some of that heavier precipitation, but otherwise fairly isolated. And this is moving almost directly to the south, a little bit to the southeast. So for the most part, just slowly crossing the Idaho border, and we will be seeing things drying out later this evening. Tuesday, we're going to start off with dry conditions and a cool morning at 39 degrees. I want to take you through hour by hour because things will change rapidly as we get into the afternoon. By 9, we're in the 50s. As we get into the afternoon, a slight chance of showers as early as as 11 a.m. More likely, any precipitation will hold off until late afternoon. We'll also start to see our winds pick up a little bit, 63 degrees by 1 o'clock, and that's going to be our high for the day. We'll hit that early because then the clouds will really start increasing and our chance of precipitation jumps as we get into the evening. Here is our Tuesday precipitation, 0 at 10 a.m. and then we're up to 80 by 5 o'clock, 6, 7, 8, and then we have a very good chance of some steady rain through the overnight. Forecast radar starting off at our current time. Showers in progress coming to an almost immediate end as our sun sets and we lose our daytime heating. But a little less than 24 hours from now, we start to see the steady rains moving into Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Here's 11 o'clock tomorrow night with that rain in progress. A little bit of a back edge, but it's not going to last. We'll continue to see precipitation rotating in through Wednesday. Here's Wednesday at 8 a.m. with wet weather through North Idaho and the Northeast Mountains. More showers and possible thunderstorms in the afternoon and into the evening. Meanwhile, temperatures tomorrow are going to be running below average, and that is going to be the theme going forward. We'll be mostly in the 60s. Have to go down to the Tri-Cities and Lewiston to find 70-degree weather. And in your temperature trend, we're down to 55 on Wednesday, staying below average through the end of the work week and the start of the Memorial Day weekend. Finally back up to average, which will be 70 degrees this time next week by Memorial Day, which looks like the nicest day of the 7-day forecast by far. But how great it will be to have some rain in the bank. Our best chance of soaking beneficial rains will be overnight Tuesday and into the first part of Wednesday with the potential for some thunderstorms in the afternoon. Showery Thursday with a better chance of rain on Friday into Saturday. We dry out for Sunday, 64. We're warming up, and then right now, Monday looks sunny with a high of 70. Beautiful weather for Memorial Day and for any observances you may have throughout the day. The weather looks like it will cooperate, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. Well, around the world tonight, the International Criminal Court is seeking arrest warrants for Hamas and Israeli leadership.
Charges are being leveled on both sides for Hamas's violent terrorist attack in Israel on October 7th and Israel's subsequent retaliation on Hamas militants in Gaza. CNN's Laura Aguirre breaks down the war crimes prompting the arrest warrants.
October 7th, 2023. The Hamas terror attack that ignited a war and a catastrophic humanitarian crisis. Now, an international prosecutor is taking action against both sides.
We've applied for warrants to the pretrial chamber of the International Criminal Court in relation to 3 individuals that are Hamas members. The charges are extermination, murder, taking of hostages, rape and sexual assault in detention.
In a statement Monday, Hamas said it strongly condemns the ICC prosecutor's attempts to equate victims with aggressors by issuing arrest warrants against Palestinian resistance leaders.
We have a variety of evidence to support the applications that we've submitted to the judges.
The ICC prosecutor is also going after Israeli leadership.
We'll apply for warrants for Prime Minister Netanyahu and also Minister of Defense Gallant for the crimes of causing extermination, causing starvation as a method of war, including the denial of humanitarian relief supplies, deliberately targeting civilians in conflict.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called the application for warrants a political outrage and says the war will continue until the hostages are released and Hamas is destroyed. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said Monday afternoon the U.S. fundamentally rejects the ICC prosecutor's actions, adding that the ICC doesn't have jurisdiction in this matter. The arrest applications now go to a panel of ICC judges for consideration. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
The 100 deadliest days for teen drivers begins next week. What factors experts say lead to a spike in car crashes involving young drivers? Coming up.
And a large percentage of young adults are dealing with credit card debt, what experts say is leading more people to max out their cards. Next on 4 News Now at 6.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Just in time for Memorial Day, PAR and 4 News Now are teaming up for the Great American Flag Swap. May 22nd, bring your old tattered flag to PAR Lumber in North Spokane. In exchange, you'll receive a new American flag from Uncle Sam's Flag and Gift.
It all starts with a Chevy truck. Chevy Silverado with the Turbo Max engine and best-in-class standard torque. And Chevy Silverado HD with up to 14 available camera views. Do more in a Chevy truck. Get yours now. Get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or get $5,750 total value on this Silverado when you trade in an eligible vehicle. That's 10% below MSRP. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
This year we celebrate Gary Middle School. That's where we're going to have the hometown Chevy Diamonds and Dreams. The whole infield's got to go. New fences, new backstop, and dugouts. The kids are going to love it. Diamonds and Dreams brought to you by your hometown Chevy dealers and Horizon Credit Union.
Do you have a storage problem? Wisman Storage Containers is your all-in-one local storage solution. We offer a variety of sizes and provide free delivery within the greater Spokane area. Wisman Storage Containers is your locally owned and family-operated storage solution. Don't just store. Secure your stuff today.
When I was told I had a brain tumor, my life disappeared in a moment. I feared for my future, but even more, I feared for the ones I love. How would they move on without me? But when my doctor told me about the Gamma Knife of Spokane, everything changed. I can get my brain tumor treated in just one day and continue living the life I love. Because of Gamma Knife, I have hope.
Would you know what to do if you were in your car, submerged underwater? Wednesday, GMA will show you live how to survive.
All right, it's go time.
From inside a car as water rushes in. Must see live only on Good Morning America.
Just in time for Memorial Day, PAR and 4 News Now are teaming up for the Great American Flag Swap. May 22nd, bring your old tattered flag to PAR Lumber in North Spokane. In exchange, you'll receive a new American flag from Uncle Sam's Flag and Gift.
Travel for Adventures is brought to you in part by Grant County Tourism.
We have some breaking news happening in downtown Spokane. This is the live scene at Washington and Main, where you can see there's a fire truck and that white car flipped over. Our crew at the scene is telling me now that they just saw someone being pulled from that white car and taken to an ambulance on the scene as well. Again, that white car flipped over. It appears that there's a maroon SUV that was also involved, but we don't have that confirmed at this point from police. A lot of crews on the scene right now and several bystanders who witnessed what happened and ran in to try and help whoever was inside of that white car. There's no word on whether anyone is hurt, but again, we did see someone being put into an ambulance just moments ago. This all happened just a little under a half an hour ago. So as soon as we get more information and confirmation from police, we will release that to you here on TV and on KXLY.com.
Around the nation now, in Baltimore, the container ship that crashed into and collapsed the Francis Scott Key Bridge has finally been removed from the wreckage site, with 4 lanes of the bridge sitting on top of it. Crews have been working at all hours to clear the channel and fully reopen the port.
We are not at the end of the process. We're still continuing to move through and making significant progress to the opening up and seeing the economic benefits of the Port of Baltimore moving forward.
The ship's crew has been on board this entire time. 6 construction workers were killed in that crash 2 months ago. The bridge is expected to be rebuilt by 2028. It could cost up to $2 billion, and it's still not clear who's paying the bill.
For the first time in months, food prices are finally starting to decline.
We'll explain which items you can expect to save on while at the store next. And a convicted child rapist is back in court in about 20 minutes. What court documents reveal he admits to doing in this case.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jeffrey Lyman. I'm an orthopedic surgeon, and my entire practice is dedicated to taking care of patients with knee problems. From ACL and meniscus tears to total knee replacements, I want to make sure you're ready for life's adventures. I'm here to help you master your knee pain and regain your active lifestyle. Visit me at the Orthopedic Sports Institute's new state-of-the-art surgery center in Hayden. Ready to take the first step? Call for a consultation today and let me help guide you to a pain-free future.
Call or click today and set up your consultation with Orthopedic Sports Institute.
The Medellin Falls Bigfoot Festival returns to Pend Oreille County June 15th and 16th. Discover the rich history, folklore, and mystery. From Sasquatch-themed crafts to Bigfoot merchandise, a 5K fun run, and plenty of food. This event is guaranteed to leave you amazed and entertained. Hear from the county's experts about their Bigfoot sightings or sign up for the Presenters Dinner and talk with them firsthand. The Medellin Falls Bigfoot Festival. For tickets and information, go to mf-bigfoot.com.
The Portal. The wild behavior that shut it down. Next, Inside Edition, it's the portal to another continent. It's supposed to bring people together. Will they give it another chance after this? Then, the ice cream that doesn't melt. What's going on? What's it really made of?
Tastes like ice cream.
Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
All right, welcome back. Isolated thunderstorms and rain have been moving across the region.
Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker to see where they're headed next.
Well, we're getting into rainbow weather now as these storms move off to the south and east and we get some sunshine. This is the view at I-90 and Argonne. The roads are still wet, but we're starting to see some breaks in the overcast, and the precipitation is tapering off as this main band of wet weather is not only weakening, but it is moving to the east-southeast now around Fairfield, Rockford, as we go further north into Liberty Lake, but with nowhere near the intensity that it moved through the Spokane Valley. It's going to continue to move off to the south and east, may clip Coeur d'Alene. More likely, you'll see some wet weather around Worley and Harrison here in the next hour or so before, again, things completely dry out. We also have some wet weather down on the Palouse, a few isolated showers around the Endicott area. Also from Pullman north up around Garfield, some very light precipitation. That will not be sticking together long either. We are going to be drying out overnight with partly cloudy skies and staying dry for the start of the day on Tuesday before the really wet weather moves in. 4 things to know about your weather: a dry start to Tuesday with some afternoon showers possible. Then the rain really kicks in as we get into the evening and overnight into a soggy Wednesday, and cool too. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, Chris, thanks so much. Well, a court commissioner added 2 additional counts of third-degree child rape charges for a Spokane man who was arrested over the weekend. And we do want to warn you, you may not want to watch this story if you have children in the room right now.
Yeah, when Ronald Whitehall was arrested, he was originally charged with 1 count of child molestation and 1 count of communication with a minor for immoral purposes. Marissa Rio joins us in studio. And Marissa, this is not the first time Ronald Whitehall has been charged with a child sex crime.
That's right, Kirsten. Back in 2014, Whitehall pleaded guilty to sexually abusing 2 teenage relatives of his. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison, but only served 6 years before being released in 2020. He is now being charged with a similar child sex crime.
As Whitehall made his first appearance in court today, he looked frustrated with what the prosecuting attorney and court commissioner had to say. The last time he was in court, the mother of the victim said 10 years in prison wasn't enough. And now 10 years later, he is here again with another victim. The court read the 14-year-old victim's statement in court today.
I do not believe that Mr. Whitehall should be released today because he has committed this crime before and he could easily do it again to someone else. I also do not know what he might do if he was to be released, and I'm scared because he knows where I live and go to school.
According to the affidavit, the victim told law enforcement that she and Whitehall had become close over the course of a year, starting in 2023. The two communicated over the internet, but primarily through Snapchat. According to the affidavit, the victim said she and Whitehall met up at the end of 2023, where he touched her bare chest and performed oral sex on her. Court documents reveal that the victim said the two also met up at the beginning of this year for another sexual encounter. After looking at the images and messages sent between Whitehall and the victim, an officer in this case said the defendant appeared to be grooming the victim. According to court documents, Whitehall admitted to spooning with the victim, but never sexually touching the victim. He also admitted to being alone with the victim in his bedroom while other people were in the home.
Whitehall's bond amount was set to $100,000. His next hearing is scheduled for May 29th. We will continue to update you with any new information as soon as it becomes available. Live in studio, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
All right, Marissa, thank you. Well, gas prices are very slowly dropping across the U.S., with the national average for a gallon of regular currently at $3.59. But as usual, don't expect to pay anywhere near that now in the inland Northwest. In Spokane County, you can expect to pay around $4.14 a gallon. In Kootenai County, prices are a bit better, you see, but coming in around $3.78 a gallon.
The price of some foods at the grocery store is dropping for the first time in a year. And after years of high inflation, this could come as a relief with Memorial Day barbecues now just a week away. The biggest decrease that you'll probably notice is in eggs, which are down 7.3%. And for the Grill Master, pork ribs are down 2.3%. The prices of milk, chicken, fruits, and vegetables are now down nearly 1%.
They've been going up considerably since the pandemic. Now they're actually leveling off and decreasing because of the efficiencies that they've had, as well as these retailers pushing back on the price increases.
Big name stores are now trying to lend a hand with the cost. Target saying it's cutting prices on kitchen staples like milk, meat, bread, and produce. And in April, Walmart launched its private food brand, Better Goods, with a majority of items under $5.
What we're going to see is just about every major retailer getting involved, lowering prices, adding more store brands, adding higher quality store brands.
In the meantime, the cost of dining out continues to climb, so there's a big price advantage to eating at home. Well, like I said, Memorial Day is next week. And that marks the beginning of the 100 deadliest days for teen drivers. This is the time period when fatal car crashes among teen drivers spike, and experts say a majority of the crashes are caused by distracted driving. According to the CDC, 39% of high school students in the U.S. admit to using their phones at least once while driving. Speed can also play a major factor. The CDC also found that 35% of boys and 18% of girls between the ages of 15 and 20 involved in deadly crashes were speeding at the time. The CDC also found that young drivers are more likely not to wear a seatbelt, increasing their risk of being seriously hurt in a crash.
Now, there are things you can do now to help lower your child's risk of getting into a crash. That includes reminding them to put the phone down and keep their eyes on the road. Also, tell them to follow the speed limit and obey traffic signals. And remind them to keep their distance from other cars to give them enough time to react in case of an emergency.
The college sports year is quickly coming to an end, but there are still plenty of championships left to claim.
Yeah, and for the WSU Cougars, they're sending a pretty strong contingency to the track and field regionals this week, Alex.
Yeah, that group includes a local athlete who just won the Pac-12 championships last week in the 400-meter hurdles. Coming up in sports, we're going to meet Jared McElvey and tell you the elite group he joined when he crossed the finish line last week.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Findlay Downtown Toyota. Are you struggling to get through the day? Are you experiencing chronic pain, burning, numbness, and tingling in your hands or feet? Pay attention, because you are probably experiencing peripheral neuropathy. The most common symptoms are numbness, burning, muscle cramps, and problems with balance. Neuropathy is treatable, and our office can help. It's time to get real results. Pick up your phone and call us right now. If you're one of the first 25 callers, you'll receive a free nerve damage screening. This nerve damage screening will tell you if you're at risk for serious nerve damage and if you're qualified for our cutting-edge treatment program to stop the nerve damage. Don't wait until it's too late and your symptoms get so bad that you lose your freedom and are restricted to a wheelchair, walker, or need amputation. Call now to be one of the first 25 callers to receive a free nerve damage screening. Hurry, call now to find out if you qualify for our free nerve damage screening and see how we can change your life. It's time to feel better. Call today.
You're feeding it.
I will, I promise. Thanks to our Premier Rewards Visa credit card from ICCU, we earned enough cash back to stock up on puppy supplies.
But we don't have a puppy.
They're very convincing children.
Finally, gardens are growing, flowers are blooming, and the Celebrate Spring event at Jacobs Custom Living continues. New furniture has arrived, and Jacobs really has the largest and most varied inventory ever. Comfortable lounge furniture, elegant outdoor dining sets, umbrellas, and much more. Take it home today if you're ready or get free storage for a limited time. Special spring clearance pricing on select items throughout the store. Come celebrate spring at Jacobs Custom Living on Sprague, just east of Sullivan in the Spokane Valley.
Next DT, Kevin Costner brings Horizon to Cannes. Plus,
hi, I'm Lisa Vanderpump.
And I'm Gordon Ramsay.
And we are spilling the
ET.
Next, ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Welcome to the semifinals. Our 4 remaining champions will face off.
Doesn't that sound awesome?
Only the top 3 masters will advance to the finals.
Who's the greatest of all time now, I ask you?
Jeopardy Masters semifinals continues tonight on ABC.
Well, every year, Washington State Athletics produces a lot of talent, but would you guess the track and field program is constantly churning out top-tier athletes? More than a decade ago, Joshua Anderson set the program record in the 400-meter hurdles, finishing in at under 48 seconds. Then CJ Allen was an All-American, and he's actually currently ranked 5th in the world in that same event. Now, Jared McElvey is hoping to etch his name among the all-time greats in program history.
I was initially a sprinter in high school, but my coach turned me into a hurdler. Always been a fan of Washington State, living so close to home. They were always on TV, and ended up coming here.
It might be easy to assume elite athletes don't come out of a region most known for its wine, but that simply wouldn't be true.
4 years ago, I was just a kid at home played video games in Walla Walla, going out and wheat fields everywhere, and so it's pretty cool to see kind of where I've gone now.
And Jared McElvey, the headband, trying to hang on. Here come in a photo finish.
Whoa. Now, 4 years later, Jared McElvey, the kid from small-town Washington, can add Pac-12 champion to his name.
That's kind of what I've been grinding towards. I had that posted up on my mirror at home that I just kept looking at over and over and over again to remind myself of the end goal.
At the Pac-12 championships last year, Jared missed out on the title by 9/10 of a second.
I felt like last year I was pretty dedicated, but I really wanted to take that next step and do everything right that I could.
I think he really has become a student of his event and has really worked well to understand the nuances of that event, and it's showing up with being a Pac-12 champion.
And that work over the past year ended up making the difference. 3/100ths of a second of difference.
I peeked across just probably like 15 meters ago out of the corner of my eye just to see where I was at, and I saw them coming up on me, so I leaned with everything I could, and I didn't initially know at first. I didn't know where to look to see where I would want it, but after about 5 seconds, I looked to the left of me and saw it, and it was relief. Definitely relief was what I felt the most.
Relief in arguably the hardest event in the sport, where the name of the game is survive and advance.
It's a mental toughness event. You gotta be tough for it, and everyone's hurting coming home, so you just gotta know that you're trained, trust your training, trust the process, and keep doing what coach has been emphasizing, and it'll hurt at the end regardless if you win or lose, so definitely do what you can to win.
Now, for the 3rd straight year, Jared's going to compete in the NCAA West first round with his first race coming up on Wednesday evening in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Derek, Kirsten, I'll send it back over to you.
I really like what he just said. It hurts either way.
Yeah, so you might as well win.
Better.
I like the headband swag, too, by the way.
That's a good look. Well, more Americans are falling behind on bills, especially when it comes to credit card payments. This credit card concern seems to be particularly true for Gen Z.
Yeah, new research from the Federal Reserve Bank shows roughly 1 in 7 Gen Z credit card borrowers have maxed out their credit cards. CNN's Michael Yoshida has the story.
The New York Fed finding that following historic lows during the pandemic, credit card delinquency rates have been steadily rising, with some reaching their highest levels in more than a decade.
As Wall Street hits historic highs and unemployment remains low, experts say cost of living continues to be a struggle for millions of Americans, with many turning to their credit cards to make payments.
Credit card balances have been on a really steep incline lately. High inflation and high interest rates are really squeezing borrowers.
The New York Fed recently found that for Gen Z credit card users, who it defines as those born between 1995 and 2011, around 15% have maxed out their credit cards. For Gen Xers, the number is 9.6%. And for baby boomers, the number drops to just under 5%.
Gen Zers tend to have lower credit limits because they're newer to credit. So it is easier to max out, let's say, a credit card with a $1,000 limit or $2,000 limit as opposed to maybe $5,000 that somebody who's more established might have.
A third of maxed out borrowers, those using 90 to 100% of their limit, have gone delinquent in the last year, compared to less than a quarter before the pandemic. With severe delinquencies, those 90 days overdue, at their highest level since 2012. While many Americans of all ages are struggling, high inflation and high interest rates are making it especially difficult for young people to get established.
It does seem to be hitting young adults the hardest because they have lower incomes, they have lower credit scores. There's a record amount of young adults who are living with parents because these household formation costs have really never been higher.
And the New York Fed found, not surprisingly, that there is a direct link between maxing out the credit card and falling behind on payments. The Fed saying that those that use 20% or less of their credit card limit, very few of those Americans are reportedly falling behind on paying their bills. In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Clear to the west. Here's a live look over downtown Spokane and the Spokane County Courthouse, the Veterans Memorial Arena. Blue skies for now, but not for long. A lot of wet weather to tell you about in the 7-day forecast after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Things just keep getting better at Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino. Our all-new 175-room resort hotel is opening soon. Elevate your experience with luxurious accommodations, state-of-the-art amenities, and exquisite dining. Visit SpokaneTribeCasino.com for more details. You just win here.
Hello, welcome to Coeur d'Alene Honda.
Thank you. I've been coming here for years, and I've always felt just like family.
Our customers love how easy it is to do business with us.
We have Hondas for every budget.
Awarded Dealer of the Year and rated 4.7 on Google.
And we have some of the best pre-owned vehicles to choose from, and select pre-owned Hondas come with their lifetime warranty.
And all new Hondas come with the first year of free maintenance.
So which Honda would you prefer? Coeur d'Alene Honda with the nationwide lifetime warranty at no additional cost to you, or the other guys?
And don't forget about the lifetime warranty.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2024 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. With standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and up to 32 miles per gallon. Plus, 97% of Outback vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road today. The 2024 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you.
Drive new Subaru models with 2.9% financing for 72 months at AutoNation Subaru.
This year we celebrate Gary Middle School. That's where we're going to have the hometown Chevy Diamonds and Dreams. The whole infield's got to go. New fences, new backstop, and dugouts. The kids are going to love it. Diamonds and Dreams brought to you by your hometown Chevy dealers and Horizon Credit Union.
Hi, I'm Dean, the owner of Carpet Barn. It's Carpet Barn's Memorial Day LVP sale. Celebrate the weekend by upgrading your home.
Ditch the dated and dive into the beautiful with Carpet Barn's huge Memorial Day LVP sale. Our exclusive waterproof LVP is as tough as it is beautiful with authentic wood designs that last. And starting at just $199 a foot, it's a steal. Visit Carpet Barn this Memorial Day for LVP for just $199 a foot. Make your dream home a reality.
It's that time of year to book your roofing project now before the summer rush hits at McVeigh Brothers Roofing, Siding, and Windows. And when you purchase a new CertainTeed roof today, you'll get a 5-star lifetime material and labor warranty upgrade for free.
Catch all the action at Caesar Sportsbook, located inside Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino, the area's largest sportsbook. Bet your favorite games live as they happen with in-play betting, or place bets ahead of time with the Bet Ahead feature. Only at Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino. You just win here.
4 News Now is brought to you by Walker's Furniture.
All right, it's been an eventful afternoon, especially if you're living north of Spokane.
Right, I can imagine people outside enjoying a little bit and then downpour. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker's been checking the radar for us.
Yes, and we'll be sharing the rain over the next several days. Right now, however, I am looking out in Spokane Valley, actually Liberty Lake. Now, this has moved far enough to the east. We're in Liberty Lake and is starting to sink south of I-90 as well as taper off a little bit. We'll zoom out and get a wider view of what's going on here. The tail end of this band of precipitation has now moved into North Idaho, and that extends all the way from Liberty Lake south. Will be impacting Harrison, Rockford Bay, but as some lighter precipitation, not the heavy downpours that we saw around Meade earlier, Deer Park, as well as parts of Spokane Valley. I was excited to come in today and see how much rain we got over the weekend, because it rained heavily at my house not too far from the airport. Would you believe only 0.04 of an inch over the entire weekend at Spokane International. So our total for the year, I only got to add a little bit, actually not for the year, forgive me. For spring, we're tracking March 1st through May 31st. We average a little over 4.5 inches for that time period, but so far we've only had now a little over 2 inches, but we have some opportunities to really add to it. I'd love to get up to that 4.62. And even though we had 400s at the airport, many locations did get some good beneficial soaking rains on Sunday. At Felds Field, for example, over 1/4 inch. The Indian Trail area had almost a 1/2 inch of rain yesterday. Liberty Lake, 1700s, had 1/4 inch in Post Falls and 0.3 inch in Coeur d'Alene. So the airport definitely on the low side. Now here's a look at the forecast rain that we are expecting between now and Wednesday. And again, some good beneficial rains, particularly through North Idaho, where some locations could get as much as 3/4 inch of precipitation right around the Spokane area. Amounts ranging from 1800s out at the airport, 17 and 9 Mile, to over a 1/2 inch at Hayden, Coeur d'Alene, 3700s in Post Falls. As long as somebody's getting some rain, that's a good thing, and we certainly need it, as I showed you. Our chance of precipitation picking up around noon, and then almost a certainty as we get into tomorrow evening. Tuesday, a 30% chance of measurable rain before we get into the evening. And on Wednesday, it's all the way up to 90%. So some rain on the way for us in the forecast.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. Well, it is day 19 now of the historic criminal trial against former President Donald Trump in New York City. The prosecution expected to rest its case soon after a redirect examination of Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen.
ABC's Rena Roy has more from outside the courthouse in Lower Manhattan.
The prosecution resting its case in Donald Trump's historic hush money trial. Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, their final witness. In a heated exchange, Cohen admitting on the stand that he stole from the Trump Organization when he requested a $50,000 reimbursement for IT services. Cohen had actually paid just $20,000. The former president shaking his head and pursing his lips during this testimony. In their redirect examination, prosecutors trying to bolster Cohen's credibility after the defense tried to paint him as a liar who's out for revenge. The prosecution taking on what might have been the most effective piece of the cross-examination when defense attorney Todd Blanche said Cohen lied about an October 2016 phone call with Trump to finalize the Stormy Daniels payout. Cohen testifying he did indeed speak to Trump about Daniels on that call. There was a brief argument in court over 2 images prosecutors want jurors to see from C-SPAN video on the day Cohen says he spoke to Trump, showing Trump with his bodyguard. Those images ultimately allowed. The defense now getting their turn, calling Daniel Sitko to the stand, a paralegal for the defense team, followed by Bob Costello, a longtime Trump ally who Cohen testified offered to represent him after the FBI raided his home and hotel in 2018. Meanwhile, outside of court, chaotic moments when the large political entourage with Trump stepped out to speak.
I'm Alan Wilson. I'm the Attorney General for South Carolina.
Protesters clashing, some screaming, trying to drown out Trump's surrogates. Trump has pleaded not guilty to falsifying business records and has denied any sexual encounter with Daniels.
They have no case, they have no crime. It's covered in the book as legal expense. I had nothing to do with it. The bookkeeper put it down as a legal expense.
With Memorial Day coming up, the judge says closing arguments will likely begin next Tuesday. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
All right, time for a quick break, but first, here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup for your Monday night.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Whether you're hauling your boat to the lake or a team full of soccer players,
Perfection Tire carries a full line of Cooper tires with advanced safety features, warranties, and competitive pricing.
Nobody beats perfection.
Donating your vehicle to UGM Motors is easy.
When you drop off a vehicle, you have to sign a paper of, I donated this vehicle, and that was the hardest part. And I didn't have to fill it out. They filled it out for me and had me sign it.
Your car, truck, RV, or motorcycle will provide food, shelter, job training, and recovery services at Union Gospel Mission.
I think it's a great service to the community.
Call 509-327-HELP to schedule a free pickup today.
Hi, I'm Doug Trudeau with Trudeau's Marina. Summer's just around the corner. It's time to get out on the water. We have the most popular boats in industry, premium crafted Sea Ray boats, family fun Bayliner boats, including the Element Series, VR Series, and DX Series boats. Heyday surf boats, great way to get on the water and go surfing. Crestliner fishing boats, and new this year, Princecraft pontoons. So if you're in the market for a boat, come in and see us at Trudeau's Marina in downtown Spokane.
Everyone's itching to win Northern Quest's Scratch and Win GMC Sierra giveaway. With $520,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs, it's only natural. But instead of a log, tree, or communal bush, all you need is your Camus Rewards card. Play daily to earn scratch tickets good for reward play, bonus points, hotel stays, and maybe a brand new GMC Sierra pickup. That's an itch we'd all like to scratch.
Ruggability. We straight made that word up. How else to describe the otherwise indescribable rugged, capable, incredible versatility and affordability of a Honda SUV? Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com calls Honda the best value brand. EPA says Honda is the most fuel-efficient automaker in America. But we like ruggability, and you'll like the Incredifantabulous deals, so see your Inland Northwest Honda dealer today. Honda can handle it.
Whether you're going on a long trip or just your daily commute,
Perfection Tire's certified techs are your trusted resource for efficient, cost-effective repairs and routine maintenance.
Nobody beats perfection.
PAR, family owned since 1930. Go where the builders go.
What are you going to build?
One last look at that breaking news in downtown Spokane. Washington and Main still closed because of this rollover crash. You can see that white car just completely flipped over. The Spokane Fire Department did tell us that a person was pulled from the white car and taken to the hospital with minor injuries.
And it looks like the maroon SUV was also involved in this. Investigators have not said what caused the crash or when the road is expected to reopen. This, of course, is a developing story, and we'll continue to update you as we learn more.
We've got rain on the way in the forecast and cool weather, too.
Chris, thank you.
And we'll see you tonight at 11.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.